AI is one of the best things to happen for students with ADHD, but it's also one of the biggest dangers to your college success or your students' college success if they're not careful. Today, I'm breaking down how AI could be either your secret study weapon or your biggest academic downfall that could actually destroy your academic career. Used the right way, AI can help you structure tasks, it can help you summarize information, it can help you generate ideas. Used the wrong way, it can completely sabotage your learning and maybe even get you kicked out of college. So let's talk all about that today. Hi, I'm Amy. I'm an ADHD coach and a behavior analyst. I'm a mom that has launched 3 kids to college in the last 5 years, and I am obsessed with helping ADHD college students succeed in college on their own terms and in their own way. Today, we're going to talk about AI because it really is such a great tool for people with ADHD, but it also is kind of a danger if you don't know how to use it in the correct way. So today, I'm breaking down how AI can be your secret study weapon or your biggest academic downfall. So stick around because I'm also going to introduce you to an AI tool designed specifically to help ADHD students stay on track and beat overwhelm without falling into these common AI traps. So let's talk all about it. So let's start with the good news. The good news is AI is an incredible tool for ADHD students. If you struggle with executive functioning, things like planning and breaking down tasks or staying on track, AI can be a lifesaver because, in a way, you can actually task AI with doing some of your executive functioning for you. It's a beautiful thing. And to be honest, in a world where accommodations are becoming harder and harder to come by and even more socially taboo with some of the changes that we see happening, this is a wonderful way for students to be able to modify their own environments and be able to succeed on their own terms with tools that are completely within their own control, under their own terms, and they don't have to ask anybody to do it for them. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's awesome. It's such a great thing. And it's so exciting. So let's talk about the ways it can be a lifesaver. Task structuring and planning. AI can take a huge, overwhelming project and break it into bite-sized steps. For example, you could ask AI, how should I plan this research paper that's due in 3 weeks? And it will give you a schedule. You could actually give it even more specifics about the schedule, like I only want to work on it 10 minutes at a time, or I want to write 1 paragraph at a time. It needs to be in this structure, and AI can actually break that down and reverse engineer it for you so that it makes it a step-by-step task analysis without you having to figure all of that out for yourself. You can literally have it make instructions for you so that you can follow them step by step. Mental load averted. It helps with summarizing and organizing information. So instead of reading through 50 pages of a dense textbook where you keep getting lost and you keep reading that same paragraph over and over and over again, AI can take that and summarize the paragraphs into smaller chunks of information so that you can digest it in a different way, so that you can take that information in, and AI can summarize those key points, making it easier for you to focus on what actually matters. The other trick about that is, as you get to be an expert at using AI, you can actually teach the AI what points are most important. And so why that's so exciting is, in different classes, different things are important. So in a science class, when you're trying to ascertain certain formulas or certain ways of categorizing information, you can literally tell it, in this class with this structure, these are the things that I want you to pull out of this text. And it can do that for you so that you can study it in a way that is more digestible to you without having to go through all of that text yourself. Generating ideas and overcoming writer's block. There is nothing worse than sitting down at your computer with a blank screen, knowing that you need to write a paper that's 10 pages long, knowing what the topic is, but not exactly being sure how to pull the trigger, how to structure it, and how to get started. AI is the best tool at generating outlines, at generating ideas, and at riffing back and forth with you, almost like an assistant or a study buddy, where it takes your ideas, suggests others, and it allows you to be creative without being completely overwhelmed. accountability and focus tools. There are numerous AI tools that can check on your progress, they can create structured study plans, and they can even help you when you're distracted. So that's actually one of the reasons why I created something called Rescue Buddy, and it's a simple GPT that you purchase the link from us. It's a one-time fee, and you go in there and you can brain dump your whole entire semester of task and what's happening, and it will walk you through step by step what you should do first so that you're not overwhelmed anymore. And then it will, after you get that done, it'll tell you what to do next. And then it'll tell you what to do next. And then it'll tell you what to do next. And it'll even allow you to sort it by things like, I want to do all of the things that'll take me less than 10 minutes today. And it can go through and sort that and prioritize for you and help walk you through your semester. So there's some wonderful, wonderful AI tools out there that can totally make your life as a student with ADHD so much easier, so much better, and help you succeed. So AI sounds wonderful, right? So like what's all the hype about? Why would I say that it also could be like one of the most dangerous things? Well, there's several reasons. So let's talk about that. AI can become somewhat of a trap. So the note-taking problem. It's very tempting to download an AI app that will take notes for you, to go sit with it in your classes and allow it to take your notes for you without you ever doing anything. The problem with this is that research shows that taking your own notes by hand or typing forces your brain to engage with the material in a way that helps with retention. So if you just copy and paste an AI generated notes and let AI transcribe the lectures, your brain doesn't actually do the work of getting engaged with the material and processing the material. And I know our ADHD selves what we do, right? We let the AI take the notes and we're like, I'll study that later. And then we procrastinate. And by the time, if we get to it, by the time we get to it, we've lost all of the cues that actually happened in the live lecture arena. And so our brain doesn't have those things to actually engage in the material and retain it in the same way that we would if we would have taken active notes. So that is one of the main traps of using AI generated note taking. What this is it promotes passive learning versus active engagement, which the other problem with that is us ADHD people, we don't really love the passive learning. We're all about active learning. We need that active learning to keep our brain engaged so that we care about the material that we're being presented with, so that we can retain it, and so that we can actually do well on exams, on assignments, and actually applying this information in ways that we can actually present it in a critical thinking manner as a college student. So think about it like watching a workout video instead of actually exercising. So you feel like you're doing something, but you're not really building any muscles or any real skills. You're just kind of watching it on the screen. And that's exactly kind of what can happen if you engage with AI note taking in the wrong ways. Over reliance, one of the other dangers is over reliance on AI for writing. If you let AI write your essays or discussion posts, you might get decent results, but you're not developing your own writing skills, your own critical thinking skills, or your own problem solving skills. Plus, many professors and some schools are really, really cracking down on AI generated work. And if they suspect that you're using it too much, it could lead to an academic integrity issue. In fact, this semester, with a lot of the students that I've worked with, I've actually seen it in syllabi that they forbid any kind of work in AI. That includes idea generation, outlining, all of these things. And so the problem with this is that it becomes it becomes an overreaction on the part of the university, which then puts ADHD students at even further disadvantage because there are so many ways that AI can help us accommodate ourselves. But at the same time, we don't want to use it for plagiarism, for cheating, for all of these things. We still do want to do authentic work and participate in the academic process because that's why we're in college. So that's really a balancing point of figuring out how to use AI. And with the students that I've worked with this semester, we've been very intentional about the way that we use AI. And we've also been very intentional about how we set forth with our assignments, especially with professors that AI is banned. So we talk through other strategies that may simulate AI and give us that same structure, but in a different, more legal way so that we're not breaking any of those rules. The other thing is it becomes incredibly important to know what the rules are, because if you don't know what the rules are, you can't play the game, right? Okay, so I've kind of broke down like why AI is really good and what can be the problem with it, right? So let's talk about how to use AI in the right way. How do we make sure that AI is helping and not hurting? So, one way that we can use AI in the right way is we can use AI as a thinking partner, not as a replacement for our own work. So, think of AI as your personal assistant. Let AI summarize, but then rewrite that summary in your own words. That way, your brain is still processing that information and still engaging with it, and also still triggering a creative process, which should make your academics more interesting to your brain, which should get you more engaged, which should help hack some of those ADHD problems that we have with staying engaged with our schoolwork. Combine AI with active learning. So instead of just reading AI generated notes, ask yourself, can I explain this in my own words? Can I teach it to someone else? Is there a way to correlate this with my special interests? Like, let's say you're taking an English class and you also are super interested in geology. Is there any way that you can correlate the text that you're reading in your English class with your interest in geology? AI might be able to help you with that. Keep taking your own notes. Use AI before class, before class to structure guided note structures to help you take better notes during class. Now, that's something as an ADHD coach that I work with my students on a lot. We start off by me just giving them the guided note structures, right? But then I teach you how to create your own, because the beauty of it is that when you go into class with a plan on how to take the notes, then you get much more out of that lecture, you get much more out of that material, and you come away more prepared for the next assessment, for the next quiz, or for the next assignment. Use AI for studying, not just for shortcuts. Try using AI to create practice quizzes, to do flashcards, to do study guides. Engage with the material instead of passively consuming it. So, literally brainstorm and go back and forth with AI. The beauty of this is instead of just sitting there reading something, it's more like you're talking to a friend. You can name it. You can actually even voice text with AI. So you can literally just chat instead of typing if you want to, and you can really engage and make your study process a lot more engaging in this manner by using AI. The next way is use AI tools that are specifically designed for students with ADHD. For example, the planning tool that we've created, or a planner, or a study GPT, or a GPT that's specifically designed for geology students, or calculus students, or math students. There are so many tools out there, they're changing daily, and you can even create your own tools. And that's something I love to teach my ADHD students as well, is how to create their own specific customized tools for their classes that give them the specific information that they need, how to train that AI GPT to make sense with their courses. There's a lot of just little tips and tricks like that that an ADHD coach that's on the cutting edge of AI and paying attention to what's going on in the world can actually help you create your own tool sets and create your own accommodations within the world today. I can tell you, I love AI. From everything from figuring out what I'm going to cook for dinner with the random ingredients that I have left over in my fridge, to prompting me on how to create emails for specific people. And I always go back through and I make sure I put my own spin on it. I also pay attention to the ethics of the information that I put into the AI, making sure that I am not plagiarizing, that I'm not using other people's work, and that if it gives me any citations, that I'm actually verifying that those citations actually exist. That you do have to do a lot of work to be a responsible citizen and a responsible user of AI. The other thing is you have to be aware of its environmental impact. It does have an environmental impact. So are you doing other things in your life to try to offset your carbon footprint? And do you feel okay with that? Does that align with your values? Those are all decisions you have to make if you're going to utilize AI. So, like I've talked about, AI is an incredible tool, especially for ADHD brains. And the thing about it is that it really can be accommodated to whatever your executive functioning deficit is, right? So that's what we talk about all the time is when we coach ADHD students, the reason why a coach is so important that can individualize it to your brain is that because the reason like that you may turn in assignments late is different than the reason somebody else with ADHD might turn them in late. There's different functions to that. But with AI, you're personalizing everything to your own needs. And so it's so helpful and such a huge advance for us to have this at our fingertips when we didn't always have this. So it's a really huge step in the right direction as far as people with executive functioning challenges being able to accommodate their own environments and still access information that will allow them to be successful in learning and employment environments and just everyday life. So, the key here to keep it from being destructive is that you must stay engaged in your own learning. You must stay active in the process rather than just using AI to let it become a passive process where it's just spitting out a whole bunch of text and you're sending it in as your work. That is not a good use of AI in the college setting. So, what do you think? I would love to know what you think. Are you using AI? Have you found any great study tips? Parents, are your kids using AI? Have they told you about it? If they haven't, have you asked them about it? Send this video to your kids. I would love to hear what they think as well. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, we're a brand new YouTube channel, so we would love it if you guys would like and subscribe and watch our videos. And if you want to check out that AI tool that we've specifically designed for overwhelmed students, I'm going to put the link in the description. And it's like cheaper than a cheeseburger at Applebee's. So it's like a no brainer to check it out and have it help you conquer overwhelm in your college semester. So thank you guys all for joining, and we'll see you next time. Our next video is actually going to be all about active note taking and how to use AI for that and how to do it well.